Hi folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. One of the things that the DEC is really recommending right now, they're saying that more and more people are coming to our area. A lot of them are coming from steelhead. And unlike in the past when that fishery first began, an awful lot of these anglers are practicing catch and release. And so let's just look at some of the things, because we talk about it with our smallmouth bass, how critical that fishery can be, whether it survives or doesn't. A lot of times depends on some of the things that we can do. So for catch and release, there's certain things that I wanted to talk to you about, because I think it's important that you all realize it. Number one, it's the best you can do is to not take the fish out of the water. If you bring it in by the boat, if you have a net it, keep it in the water. If you're using a net, rubber nets are by far the best because they don't rub off their protective slime the same as other nets. Keep the fish in the water. The other thing is, the quicker you end the battle, the quicker that you bring that fish in, the less stress it's going to be under. I know that goes against so much of what I talk about the joy of fishing, is seeing the fish battle, seeing it jump out of the water and do all those remarkable things that ever since I was a kid, I've marveled at. But if you want to keep that fish alive, don't stress it any longer than you have to. If you're using single hooks, it's better than treble. If you're using a circle single hook, it's better yet because they have a harder time swallowing it. And third, if you're using barbless hooks, you would think that barb is what keeps the hook in the fish's mouth. If you use barbless hooks, it's going to be a lot easier to get the hook out, even though it's easier for the fish to get the hook out as well while you're battling it. But these things will help protect the fish a lot more than if you were using a number of trebles. Don't get your hands near its gills if you can help it. And if the fish has swallowed the hook, the old-fashioned thing was years ago, it swallows it, just cut the line, and eventually that hook will rust out. Well, I don't know if it's going to rust out, but I think it's far more important that you cut the leader right down close to the hook without wiggling it or doing anything to cut open its stomach, and let the fish try to survive with that hook in there. A lot of them can survive. And so the DEC really does recommending, don't try to take the hook out of, if it swallowed it, don't try to take it out, cut the line. They talk about not dropping fish. And if you've seen video with Major League Fishing, they don't bring the fish in. They don't put it in the live well. They don't do any of that. And if you bring it in and the fish drops on the bottom of the boat, there's a huge penalty. So what they're trying to do is keep the fish from being injured, because once it falls off that hook onto the bottom of the boat, it's no different than you and I falling and banging our head, our ribs, or whatever. And also, if we're on shore and it falls on rocky areas, it can be very damaging. So it's not always that easy to keep the fish from dropping, no matter who we are. We know that can happen, but try to keep it from dropping down on the bottom. If you're going to take pictures, don't hold it by the jaw. That tends to damage internal organs and bones. Hold it sideways. Get the picture quickly and get it back in the water if you have to do that. So these are some of the tips to help us maintain, if we're not going to eat the fish and we want the fish to survive for another battle, how to maintain catch and release in the best way. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.